Good morning, beautiful people. My name's Savana. I'm a yoga instructor and a meditation instructor at Ohm Your Day here in Greenville, Ohio. And I have Trent here with me today. He is with May Financial.
Hello.
And yes, hello, Trent. So Trent's going to put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, I mean, the first thing I'm going to put you on the spot about is, you had an event last weekend, right? How'd that go?
Oh, man, it was great. A lot of learning, a lot of good questions from the people who attended. Yeah, it was something that was really just fun. I mean, it was really just doing it for fun, and that was the outcome, and that was the result. So,
Cool. I'm glad it was a good time.
yeah,
Glad that you were able to get people out there, and you had Sarah Dowds out there also, right?
yeah.
Cool. So, I want to know more about kind of what you're focusing on right now. So I know in the past you were kind of working on um, like stroke survivors, and you were kind of doing like one-to-one people with limited mobility.
hmm
What do you really see your focus becoming as we move into 2022?
So my focus has shifted to helping people relieve stress and overwhelm, and really, it's more geared towards like emotional well-being. I've
Oh,
talked,
okay.
yeah.
Nice.
I've talked a lot about how like our emotions show up in our body, and if we're unfamiliar with our body, then we don't really know where those emotions are taking root in our body. So,
hmm Yeah, very nice. It kind of makes sense just with everything we've been talking about on here. Like, yeah, I mean, I think that's so needed right now in Dark County and everywhere, really. But
it really is our relationship to our emotions, being able to identify them and just, knowing why they show up, how they show up, really just changes our outlook on life, really. I mean, it affects our, as in, yoga talk would be like our spirit. Um, And so, I think that it is really needed to build
Mhm.
that relationship.
Cool. All right. Well, on that, I want to talk about surrendering and letting go. Like, people have a lot of clutter, whether it be physical or mental. So, how do we let go of that clutter? What's your advice for that?
Uh, well, first we have to see it, right? Sometimes we just aren't even aware that we got the clutter going on. We just kind of accept it for what it is. Like, oh, this is just how I am. I'm a frazzled person, or,
Or this is
uh,
just life.
yeah, life. Which acceptance is really good. Except practicing acceptance is good, but identifying the root of that acceptance, like, are we accepting as in like settling, just kind of selling ourselves short a little bit, just to be like, well, things aren't going to get better, so I'm just going to keep rolling with how things are now.
hmm
Or acceptance as in, you know I don't like the way this makes me feel, I accept that. And I want to make a change, I accept that, and then, like, taking the necessary steps to make that happen. So how can people do that?
Yeah.
Get rid of the clutter. So I guess I started with that acceptance, right? Peace,
hmm
or I'm sorry, awareness. So identifying where the clutter is showing up in your mind, or in like your physical world with your house or your work or whatever it may be. And then kind of identifying where you want to be, like, um, with mindfulness or meditation practices, we can set an intention. So maybe you've got a lot of mind clutter and you're like, I want to figure out where this mind clutter is coming from. Like, what topics, what areas of my life are creating this? Am I creating this mental clutter? So again, it goes back to identifying, and then setting that intention. Like, I want to feel at peace with this. And so, with meditation, we can do a lot of like visualizing techniques. And so, you know, trying to see yourself, like say you have an office and it's just really cluttered, and it really like you've every day you find like little speed bumps that kind of slow you down, whether it's trying to find a paper clip or a pen, or you're tripping over cords, like whatever it
Hmm.
is. You're identifying, this is a cluttered space. um you know Identifying where it's tripping you up, and then visualizing, starting with seeing yourself as an organized person, changing the way you view yourself, because chances are you're not placing a lot of value in your life on having an organized office space.
This whole topic is so, I guess, kind of cool because like I essentially have two parts to my office. So the part I'm at right now is my desk, and then I have a part on the other side where there's like a chair and a couch and a coffee table and like a little bit of room to pace. So it's like I have this absolute mental block when I'm at my desk. But if I move over to the other side of the room, I can walk, I can pace, I can think, I can kick my feet out, whatever. But it's amazing how just in one little office you have that dynamic of here I can't think, here I can.
I think that's awesome, Trent. That was like owning it. Like you're a space, like a chill space in your office that kind
Hmm.
of like stems creativity or relaxation. If you're like at your desk and you're just kind of like putting the pressure on yourself, you can take a minute and be like, I'm just going to go sit on my couch, take a couple breaths,
Hmm.
maybe take a sip of my coffee and just chill out for a minute. And then, it's kind of like a reset for you. That's really, you should give yourself a pat on the back for that.
I started noticing like if I go for a walk or I go do this or that, like something that shouldn't like things become simple. Like and I'm all of a sudden able to think and like I need to get like some Wii tennis up in here or something. Like like some Wii tennis.
Oh yeah, there you go. I think that's great. Not to get like off on a tangent or anything, but companies, corporations are doing that for their employees because
Hmm.
they see the of it. And essentially what you're doing is you're creating a space to let go.
Hmm.
And when we're not constantly focused on the problem, right? We're not
Hmm.
constantly trying to like, you know, beat a dead horse, so to say, and try to like dig to find a solution. We
Hmm.
walk away, we give ourselves some freedom and letting go, and the solution kind of just, comes to you. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else like about the clutter. But yeah, so like, you probably not even knowingly did that for yourself. Like, you thought like, here's this thing that I'm struggling with. Here's this other thing that gives me good feedback, and I'm going to create this space. That way I can kind of change my flow, my
Hmm.
workflow. Um, and so that's what we can do with our clutter, whether it be mental clutter or physical clutter. Just trying to imagine yourself as an organized person, you know, and kind of recreating the story, so to say, and little by little, again, letting go and not putting so much pressure on ourselves to be um, a perfectly organized person in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And one of the things for me is like I had to stop reaching for my cell phone when I wake up
Yeah.
because like I noticed that in myself that like the second I woke up, I was starting to reach for my cell phone to see what all was going on that day. And then
Yeah.
the mental clutter would just start before my feet even hit the floor.
Yeah. I like to call it a ticker tape, like the thoughts that just keep coming and they don't stop.
Hmm.
And definitely, like, our cell phones, they're like a blessing and a curse, because like I can get in the shower and listen to whatever I want,
Hmm.
and blare it on my Bluetooth speaker and have a fantastic time. But at
Hmm.
the same time, my cell phone holds my whole calendar for my work, and all my productivity comes through my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's that balance again, and really like identifying what those things are that kind of spark that ticker tape starting.
Yeah, very nice. I like it. You gave us a lot to chew on this week for sure.
Mhm. So do you have one more question?
No, that was the three.
Okay. I do want to touch on just about surrendering and letting go. I kind of joked with you before we went live about how it's such an easy thing to do.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is, we are constantly in this flux with life of, letting go and, putting energy into, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a delicate balance. And I feel like as a society we're like more action oriented, productivity. If I do this action, if I produce this thing, then I'll get this result. And I think that's why we have this mentality around letting go, surrender being like a weakness. And I was kind of thinking about like a war, and like on a battlefield, and one side has to surrender. And, part of it is it takes a lot of courage to surrender, to be like, you know what, I have to accept that I'm defeated in this moment. And either, if it's a war setting, either more lives are going to be spent, right? Because I can't let go or accept this defeat. And we think about our personal lives. What are we spending? It's energy. And so sometimes we just have to be like, you know what, it's a really wonky day, and I'm just going to accept the fact that this day is kind of coming out of nowhere. I'm going to accept defeat and just kind of put one foot in front of the other and let go. And hopefully, and most times I think that we do find ourselves in this place, we get relief, and then with that relief we can, find those solutions to help us step forward.
Cool. Cool. Very well put, Savannah. Thank you for jumping on the spot today.
Thanks for the questions, Trent.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Trent May with May Financial. Got Savannah Shawtree on your day. Thanks for joining us again this week.